Hello beautiful dragon people, and welcome back to the Art of the Dragon Prince review. This is part 6. So if you haven't been watching this series, don't worry about it. I'm kind of just going through the art book and talking about different pieces of art that fascinate me and finding little tidbits of information. It's super casual, super laid back, so you can just stick around and we'll talk about some of the art. We are on page 87, The Council of Catullus. A wise ruler does not make all their choices alone. The Council of Catullus lends the nation's royalty their expertise and guidance when necessary. And then we got this Jafar looking guy over here. I always called him Jafar. He looks like Jafar. Am I crazy? He even kind of plays the same role as like an evil advisor. Like, he's got major Jafar vibes. Then we've got Crowmaster. The mysterious Crow Lord left a big pair of shoes to fill for Catullus' number 2 crow expert, the bumbling Crowmaster. Hopefully someday his boss will notice what a good job he's doing. Now there's actually a few different variations of his design, and I kind of really dig all of them. Like I think this is the first time that I've looked at like alternate designs, but I'm like, yeah, I kind of like all of these. I don't know if I could imagine a different Crow Lord, but since I'm so used to the one that we got on the show, but this blonde one looks really interesting, and I really dig this, like, young version. He reminds me of somebody, but I cannot for the life of me figure out who he looks like. I think he might be reminding me of somebody from Avatar: The Last Airbender, maybe? But I can't remember what character it is. If you guys know who I'm talking about, or if you just think I'm crazy, just leave a comment below saying I'm crazy. And then on the next 2 pages, we get some lovely art of Lujane's area in the Cursed Caldera. The Moon Nexus. I know what that's called. It's called the Moon Nexus. Then we've got this lovely little reference to Lord of the Rings right here. Then we get to see some interesting stuff. Now this right here is the Crow Lord's spooky dungeon office. Looks pretty good. I dig it. And then down here we get to see the royal seal that... Seal. I'm just picturing this seal. Spotlight, primal source, sky. Find the wind, boy, be like a wing. Villads. Sky magic draws from the energy and movement of the vast sky above us. From the outer heavens to dank, cavernous depths, the air is everywhere and nowhere at once. Around us and within us, sky mages thrive on the ever-changing energy their primal source offers them. From the churning chaos of a storm to the clarity and freedom of a cloudless sky, the sky primal can manifest in the ability to summon wind, lightning, or shrouding fog. But its power is not limited to the weather. A talented sky mage can magically enhance their movement, allowing bursts of speed and leaps of great length. Now that's actually really cool. I don't think we've seen people do that on the show yet, but that could be really helpful in certain situations. The most powerful among them can even transform their arms into wings, giving them the gift of flight. Even with limited physical strength, a sky mage can learn to perform feats of incredible agility, making them excellent acrobats, dancers, and sometimes thieves. Let's talk about Nyx. Perfect. Although Skywing elves have a deep connection to the Sky Primal, the form of their connection can be just as unpredictable. Only about 1 out of 10 Skywing elves is born with wings, and whether these special individuals choose to use their powers for virtue or vice is as uncertain as a falling leaf's path through the autumn air. Then we get some interesting storyboards of the scene where Claudia sees Zim and he looks so cute and she's just like floats towards him with a heart. To be fair, that is exactly the same way that I was feeling during this scene. Then we get some more lovely art of the Moon Temple. We get to see the lovely bridge that leads up to it. I would really have loved to have seen this place in its prime. It would have been really cool. Before it was left to a solitary guardian, the Moon Nexus hosted travelers, mages, and scholars from all over Xadia. Then we get to see this little rose, the blue rose that Rayla uses to keep herself awake through Claudia's dark magic sleep spell. And we get to see Claudia's enchanted ocarina that she used to knock her out. Then we get to see the moon dorms filled with very interesting items made of that Moon Shadow Elf's craftsmanship that is really impressive. I really love how Moon Shadow Elves have such a defined aesthetic. Like if you put that in front of me and said, which elf from the Dragon Prince built that, I would be like, oh, that right there? That's a Moon Shadow Elf shelf. That's kind of fun to say. Moon Shadow Elf shelf. You've heard of Elf on the Shelf. Now you've heard. Okay, anyway, moving on. We get to see this cool little thing here. I'm not sure what this is. What is this? Let's see, the text says, even the most mundane of Moon Shadow Elf household items is ornately crafted. Then we get to see some more images of the Moon Shadow Elf temple. Then we get to see some of Claudia's amazing hot brown morning potion and a lovely little picture of her. She looked so pretty with her hair like that. I especially dig the hair loopies. Very Katara-esque, which I dig. Aaravos. Aaravos is as mysterious as he is alluring, and his charisma compels even Viren to entertain his sinister influence. A star-touched elf of great power, his past has been purged from history, and Aaravos himself is trapped somewhere in a magical prison. But why? Is Aaravos a tragic victim of Xadia's arrogance, or a manipulator who pulled too hard at the strings of his puppets? Well, one of these days I'm going to do my theory video on Aaravos and kind of explain what I think his beef with everybody is, but we'll get to that another time. So we get a couple of different alternate kind of heads of him, and I dig kind of what they're going for here. I think they kind of knew very definitely, kind of like, I feel like they knew what they were going for with Aaravos. Like they really wanted kind of like this regal, charming kind of man. Like he has very nice hair, he's always dressed nice in all the different variations. Here we get some more different variations on him, and yeah, it looks about the same, where he has kind of this very nice, pretty presence. I know that a lot of children's shows like to make their bad guys as bad and evil and looking as possible. Like, look at the Fire Lord. I mean, that dude, if you had to guess, is this guy hero or villain? What do you guys think? So I really like the design of Aaravos. These are pretty sick. I can't imagine Aaravos looking like anything other than what he looks like, but I would love to see these designs kind of repurposed for other star-touched elves. Like, these are really cool. Oh, I know this. This was one of the images that they revealed at the San Diego Comic-Con panel. Oh yeah, this here too, right. With her Claudia with her little octopus arm, which is really cool. Oh, here we go. Now we're getting to that good stuff. Captain Villads. Villads? The D is silent, that's the important part. Whether or not his tales of his past life as a pirate are true, his warm-hearted advice touched Rayla, Callum, and Ezran. His ragged clothing is more reflective of his weird sense of humor than his blindness. I really dig these different designs of him. I really like this one here, actually, quite a bit, where he's a lot younger. That would have been really cool. To kind of have, like, this young guy, like, talking about all of his many years of sailor stories. That could have been pretty funny. And then we got Berto down here, being a cool little parrot, looking remarkably similar to Pip. So that's pretty cool. Then we get some different art of the town where they board the ship. There's the ship itself, the Ruthless. We get some interior artwork of it, which is really nice. I really like these a lot. This is the island where they stop off at, where Zim gets lightning bolted in that very heart-stopping scene. Here are all the items that Viren had to gather to communicate with Aaravos. And then this is the expansive royal balcony. It's a balcony. What am I supposed to say about that? It's a balcony. Here we get the beautiful Queen Sarai. Callum and Ezran's mother Sarai was beloved Queen of Katalis, a warrior whose brave sacrifice saved the people of 2 kingdoms from starvation. She is remembered for her sweet tooth and iron fist, with an unwavering belief in compassion and the strength of heart to fight for it. And then we get some different variations on her. One thing that's really interesting is they all pretty much look the same. So it makes me think that they probably came up with the design for Callum, and then they kind of were like, well, let's make her look like Callum, because they all look very similar. Some variations on the hair, but so yeah, she looked very lovely. I could almost believe that all these alternate designs would just be her with wearing different clothes. We get to take a look at her really cool spear, which is really sick. I really love that kind of like one thing longer than another design that a lot of the stuff in Katalis has. It's really cool looking. Then we get a bit of the storyboards for the scene where her and Harrow are having both a literal fight and a metaphorical fight as they argue with each other about whether or not to take the life of the magma titan, to take its heart, to save the lives of 2 kingdoms. And then we get Queen Farida. Farida is Queen of Avenir, a nation off the western coast of Catullus, while Avenir itself is mostly a swampland plagued by dreary weather. Farida herself is warm and pleasant. She's a really cool character. I really like the way that they have her design. I really want to know more about her. And these other designs are really interesting. Then we get to take a look at the Queens of Durin, the warrior queens. The Queens of Durin arrive seeking aid, desperate to make a better future for their people and their infant daughter Anya. Niha. Is that her? Is that how you say Neha? 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 Neha is typically the voice of reason, while Annika speaks from the heart. They're so cool. I was so happy to see like 2 queens. That's so awesome. What great representation. Maybe I shouldn't have made fun of the name so much. Then we get to Queen Anya. Queen Anya inherited the throne of Durin at a very young age and had to grow up fast to defeat those who sought to usurp her rule. Now, Anya has the will and the savvy to match wits with even Lord Viren. King Florian. A bear of a man, King Florian has a big, strong heart and bigger, stronger arms. As king of the rugged mountains of Delbar, he values a hard day's work and a warm hearth at night. King Alling. He's like the uncle. I think, isn't that what Callum described him as in the Callum spellbook? I think they called him like the uncle of all the different people. He definitely has uncle energy. King Alling rules over the proud and prosperous nation of Noodlelandia. His wealth and privilege have shielded him from the tough decisions in life, but he's a kind man who loves his many children more than anything. Then we get a lovely exterior shot of the castle. This is actually really cool. I actually really like this angle. It really helps me put into perspective where all the different events take place. So that's the tower right there where Harrow was in. So that must be it up there. Fascinating. This is really cool. Baby Ezrin. Ezrin was just a tiny baby when his mother, Queen Sarai, gave her life while on a dangerous mission into Zadia. Did I call it Zadia? Zadia. What? I know the word. I've said it 10,000 times. Young Callum. Callum, on the other hand, was old enough to remember his mother when she died. Even now, he feels the pain of her loss every day. Poor Callum. Oh my gosh. Callum is gonna have like serious abandonment issues. If him and Rayla end up splitting up, oh my gosh, that's gonna scar him with relationships for life. Oh, poor guy. And then this is the area where they have the meeting of the Pentarchy. What a long road that is. Is that supposed to be just a deterrent? They're like, look, we need to settle peace now because if we have to summon the Pentarchy, we're gonna have to walk up that long path all the way to the top. And do we all really want to do that? They're like, you're right. We will invade Zadia. Spotlight, the human kingdoms. Noodlelandia. The towering palace of Noodlelandia stands as a monument among the barren dunes of the northern desert lands. In the face of great scarcity, the resourceful people of Noodlelandia have developed a rich culture of trade and barter, while still maintaining a massive, well-trained army. Avenir. Before Avenir opened its borders, few had navigated the maze-like swamplands of the west to encounter its people. Avenir's isolation from the helping hand of neighbors has made it fiercely independent. So much so that the intense bonds between its citizens are often misinterpreted as fear and mistrust of foreigners. Delbar. To the average person, the freezing valleys and rocky crags of the western mountains would be uninhabitable, but to the hardy folk of Delbar, there is no better home. Some say they stay warm because of the hot beef stew that runs their veins. Some say that they stay warm because of hot beef stew that runs through their veins instead of blood. Others say it's just a really thick tunic. It's probably the tunics thing. Durin. Rainwater and snowmelt flow down from the mountain, bringing water to the countless farms in the rolling, fertile plains of Durin. As a breadbasket to the human kingdoms, Durin is especially at risk from attack by any vengeful neighbors in 𝐻𝐸𝐴. 𝐀𝐧𝐝. 𝐀𝐧𝐝's population and great military strength reflects its status as the largest human kingdom. The magical land of 𝐻𝐸𝐴 looms large just over the long stretch of border to the east. In the face of the constant threat, 𝐀𝐧𝐝 has endured heartbreaking loss as well as incredible victory over the ages. Then we get to see some more art of the area where they met with the Pentarchy. We get to see all the different flags. These are really cool. And then we get to see, like, I don't know what this is supposed to be, but it's terrifying. This is, like, supposed to be the Sunfire Elves and the Moonshadow Elves, and they look absolutely terrifying, looming in the darkness and surrounded by red fire. So, maybe, like, propaganda? Join the 𝐀𝐧𝐝 army today to stand against the Red Menace. Ah, yes. The Magma Titan towers over its barren domain, the lava flowing under its rocky carapace. That thing is so cool looking. And then, of course, we have to get the heart of the Magma Titan. Magma Titans are huge sentient beings made of burning hot lava and rock. Though dangerous, at heart, they are just like many other creatures in 𝐻𝐸𝐴, peaceful unless provoked. Queen Sarai tried to impress this message of compassion upon the leadership of 𝐀𝐧𝐝, but even Harrow did not heed her words. Maybe they could have just reasoned with the Magma Titan. Maybe they could have just talked the Magma Titan into just giving up his heart. Can you just die? Because, like, we really need that. And then we get this really sick image of one. Man, that is really cool looking. I really like the Magma Titan. He looks like something straight out of World of Warcraft, and I really dig that. Oh my god, wow, look at this. Holy cow. What a cool painting. Wow, look at Thunder go. So, are these dragons important, do you think? So that's Thunder. Maybe the other blue one is his dragon wife, and then who's the dark purple one? Thunder, the Dragon King. 𝐴vizandum, the indomitable king of dragons. The incredible powers imparted to him through his direct connection to the Sky Primal are matched only by his commitment to Queen 𝐿𝐴 and their tireless watch over 𝐻𝐸𝐴. Wow, holy cow. So we get some different variations on his design here. I really like this one. This one is really cool. This one almost looks like something like one of you guys would draw. Like, this is really cool looking. Then we get some interesting storyboards of the moment when he turns back, where Viren shows his humanity, where for once he doesn't make the practical choice, where he follows his heart, goes back, he puts all the human kingdoms at risk. He's the only one who can perform the spell that will save the two kingdoms, but not thinking of that, and not thinking of himself, he risks his own life and everyone else's life to try to follow his heart and do the right thing and save the queens. Oh, look at this guy. Does this dragon have a name yet? I don't even know if he has a name yet. I know a lot of these guys get like names like dropped in like tweets or a lot of like side information. Does he have a name? If this guy has a name, will you guys let me know in the comments? Because I really want to stay up to date on that. His name is Pyrrha. the very next page. How many of you guys like typed the comment before we got to this page? You're like, oh yeah, I got you. It's Pyrrha. Okay. A classic fire-breathing dragon, Pyrrha, is connected to the Sun Primal. She has a quick temper and a niche to pick a fight with humans. A fight Soren is all too eager to give her. And it's all good. She got a good shot in. Crippling him. I think they're even. And we get this really cool like black design of it. I really like that. I really like the idea of like having like actual fire kind of emitting off of them. There's something similar like that where they kind of had like lightning looking energy kind of coming off of 𝐴vizandum. I really like that design. Alrighty guys, well that is where we're going to have to end this video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for sticking to the end, I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, please remember to like and subscribe. Really helps the channel grow a lot, and you get to become part of the beautiful dragon people, which is the name of the community here on this channel. Some of the best people you're ever gonna meet. And as always guys, I will see you guys in the next one. I'm off to rewatch The Dragon Prince. See ya.